I looked at Elephant's drafts from the TI qualifiers as well, and they did play a lot of Lena. So it seems like this Lena is just kind of like the crux of their drafts. They like to draft around that. They like to just have her as the centerpiece.
She offers so much as well. She makes your draft so easy. She's such a box-ticking hero, you know? She does physical damage, she does magical damage, she's got range, she can even have catch, and then add to that all of that. She even has a little stun as well. I mean, she does everything.
She can buy any item too. She has no restrictions. There's so much flexibility with her build. Yep.
Basher.
She could probably buy a Basher and still make it work.
I want to see it without attack speed. Sounds juicy.
Okay, so I want to talk about this tide a little bit because we did see a first phase tide yesterday, and it looked so good. They kind of just use this tide as this 5-man hero. He builds pipe. If he has a good lane, he can just be so durable and stand in the front lines, just barrel down these towers. So I'm starting to have this idea about Tide that if a team opens up with him in first phase, they might actually be looking to play more of a faster 5-man type lineup. So I wonder if that's something we're going to see out of Elephant, because we did see them play an incredibly fast-paced lineup a few days ago.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that sounds pretty correct. Elephant in game 2 against VG, they busted out the Tide, and then VG later on started to prioritize it much higher in the draft. You talked about yesterday, that was their game against Aster, where they pretty much manhandled Aster almost the same way that Elephant manhandled VG. So it's
so
gonna be
they're learning. They're picking up some.
And that's what China Dota is a lot about. And sometimes we say like, oh, it's boring or very slow or whatever. It's because they are constantly learning from one another. And there's always going to be this one team that's playing very well. And all the other Chinese teams will try to copy that team and their play style.
Right.
So
I don't think anyone who watches China Dota can call it boring, honestly. This tournament has been such a pleasure.
Oh, historically, it's been called boring quite a bit.
Well,
but this tournament definitely
just
not.
Wrong. This has been some of the funnest Dota that I've seen in a while.
There was like a small era where China Dota was very slow and very methodical and very low risk. And I feel like that short era of Chinese Dota, that couple of years, has just kind of put a black mark against the name for a lot of people. But
Mira wasn't born people at that time, so she definitely does not remember.
Excuse me. I'm enjoying my pudges and my voids in this region. I didn't get this in Europe. I didn't get this anywhere else. I'm very happy to be watching this.
Turn to ban.
So interesting. They do go for Medusa in first phase. It seems like they just want to prioritize their carry right now because they know in second phase it's just going to get banned out. Medusa is a hero who does very well against Tidehunter in lane. For reasons that we've said before, she has high range. She drains his mana with Mystic Snake. She doesn't struggle too much against him in lane. Unless the lane partner he's paired with is just going to have absurd kill potential. But this is like a solid Medusa game so far.
10 seconds.
Mystic Snake still drain mana.
There's also not that much burst damage from these first two picks on Elephant and Tide and Puck. And when you think about Medusa, you have to think about a lot of damage. It takes a lot of damage to kill this hero. So
hang on, Mira. I can't let Nomad get away with this, okay?
What did
Nomad,
you say?
did you just come out of a coma? He just asked us if Mystic Snake still drains mana.
Yeah, because well, Mira said it drains mana.
Yes, it does.
Does it?
5 seconds.
No, it gives Medusa mana.
Yeah, it doesn't drain mana from the target anymore. Sorry.
Yes, sure. I didn't phrase that correctly. No, Medusa herself gets mana, so she doesn't have sustain issues. But the target she throws it on doesn't lose mana.
Yep.
Is that clarified?
Just wanted to make sure for the record.
So anyway, just the thought that I was giving so far, and would you agree, Theben, is that they don't really have the damage to deal with Medusa right now, so that's what they're looking to draft.
It's very hard with the heroes that they have. I think one of the reasons also on top of it being really hard to kill the Medusa is that the Medusa provides a team fight that can stand up to Tide and Puck, which I think that's what VG is trying to do. So when I see this draft and the first two picks from Elephant, I immediately think their way of countering BG is just, okay, guys, just slap on the best team fighters in the game, and that's how we beat BG. Like, if they can't group up as 5 and just run into us, we're going to win against this team. And I think BG realizing that Tide and Puck is like, oh my god, this is scary. Like, how do we deal with this? Like, we can't really pick Terrorblade. He's not going to give better team fight, especially in the early mid game. It's going to take a little too long. Luna, it could, but still rather difficult. But Dusa has that big stone gaze. Snake hitting multiple targets is also going to be very nice. And she's tanky, like you said. Can't really get through her. I think that's what is going through BG's mind when they decide to go for this carry pick.
Absolutely. So Lion does have damage, right, and Finger of Death, and he has hard disable, which is definitely needed. The problem with the Lion is his damage is not consistent damage, right? So they definitely still need to address this Medusa damage issue. They need that follow-up damage on the Ravage to kill the Medusa. But Vici have banned Terrorblade, Luna, and Morphling, which are some of the highest damage carries right now. So they're in a bit of a situation. They're in a bit of a damage situation right now, but they do have like a strong run at you lineup on the side of
10
Elephant,
seconds remaining.
especially with this ET pick.
Yeah, this team fight is looking very, very strong from Elephant, and that's pretty much on brand
nasty.
with what they've been doing so far.
This is crazy. This is so much team fight. I don't know. VG actually played very well with the Disruptor yesterday, right? When they played against Aster. That was so nice to watch. Why do you think teams don't like this hero that much, Mira?
Disruptor?
Yeah.
It's just that his disable is not as reliable as a Lion, right? But Disruptor does have his games if you're looking to like counter initiate or you're looking for like an instant AoE silence. So Disruptor actually looks really good in this game versus Puck. Disruptor is one of the counters for Puck that people don't really consider just because he's so squishy and he can feed the Puck so often.
Yeah.
But a well-positioned Disruptor can catch out this Puck. Like so long as this Puck is getting static stormed, they won't have an issue dealing with him. And there's also DK in the draft too. Is a traditional counter to Puck as well.
Isn't it so satisfying when you get like a 3-man kinetic field static storm, you know, with no setups? They're just like running in on your guy and you're just like waiting for that angle. I think it's just as satisfying as a black hole.
Can I talk about something? So they do pick ET, who reduces base armor, right? But they have 2 heroes that don't care about it, and Dragon Knight and Timbersaw. Like
True.
they still lack damage issues. How are they going to kill this Medusa? How are they going to kill this DK? How are they going to kill this Timbersaw and Elephant's draft?
They've got such tanky cores on Vici. I don't think I've seen 3 tankier cores in one team before.
When you think about ET, you think about his armor reduction on like these really high armor heroes with like Terrorblade, right? Morphling. But there's a Timbersaw and a DK kind of like negating this spell in that sense. Of course, it still provides a lot of damage. It still provides a lot of utility in team fights. It's just that it's kind of been countered already in Vici's draft.
I think the way you deal with VG's heroes, they're pretty slow, apart from the Timber who can zip around, or the DK is agging him. So the ET is just gonna like try to slow them down, stun them up, and just wait for the perfect angle where
setup basically.
Yeah, it's just a setup, and Somnus, you know, he's just looking to snipe the Disruptor and then wait for that one pick off, and then the fight just like kind of blows up from there. They have so much stuns on the side of Elephant.
Yeah, honestly, I would like to see something like a carry-less Shark coming out for Elephant, because I still think they have some damage problems that they really need to fix. They need ways to kill these heroes.
Radiant team pick.
And Vici will go for the Dark Willow as their final pickup. So, bit of team fighting, bit of AoE.
I like Ursa. I like this. I was gonna say Jug too, but it's banned.
10 seconds remaining.
Just want to have a look at.
There's a lot of banned heroes. Like this is kind of a problem.
Yeah, Jug banned, Anti-Mage banned. Would have been a really interesting Anti-Mage game.
Luna banned, Terrorblade banned, Morph banned.
Yeah, Wraith King's there. Doesn't do enough damage, really, though. I mean, maybe TBs? No, that was banned as well. They go for the Monkey King.
Oh, so they go for a little bit of a faster pace, but their mid-late game, I'm not as confident in it as I would have been if they had an Ursa picked. Interesting.
Well,
Very similar
well,
heroes.
what does Monkey give that Ursa doesn't? He gives another team fight. You were talking about how they're very heavy in on this team fight. It looks like they're gonna like 5-man and impose themselves. So Monkey King does add to that with his like Wukong's command, and he does have sustained damage on lane versus Timbersaw. Whereas an Ursa versus a Dark Willow might struggle a little bit more. But I still, to be honest, I still don't like Elephant's draft that much for reasons that I've already mentioned. I think
So
if
you going Vici?
they can pick up the pace, on Elephant and just run Vici over, like Theven said, Vici's heroes are a bit slow with the exception of the Timbersaw. They can pressure them and they can make the map very small for them very early on. But I'm going to lean towards Vici this game.
Damn.
Alrighty,
I wanted to go towards Fiji as well, but I'm so on the fence with this. I'll go with Elephant here. I think they got the momentum, and Monkey King, it might just work. Again, I would have had way more confidence in them if this was an Ursa, because I felt like it would provide more burst damage, which is something they might be lacking. But they're gonna make it work. Let's go Elephant here.
Yeah, from what we've
I
seen...
will firmly say Vici for this game.
All right. One for Elephant, one for Vici. From what we've seen so far in this tournament, I think the fortune seems to favor the teams which can run around and just do more. And even though these cores are really tanky on the side of Vici, I still think they can't do as much. You know, like Timbersaw, the mid DK, like they're a little bit reliant on timings. I don't know. I think it's just a little bit easier. They need less heroes to do stuff on the side of Elephant. Vici, you know, they're going to need to bring like way too many heroes to go and do stuff on the map. I think that's going to slow them down a lot, and I think that's going to mean they lose the game. So I'm going to go for Elephant as well, but let's find out what our casters think. They say an elephant never forgets, and you'll never forget this duo. It is B-Cup and Mo Farah.
Oh. Yeah, thank you so much. Nobody forgets us. Nobody forgets us ever.
I mean, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, though. So I don't know if it is a nice thing that he said.
Wait,
you know, like
how is it?
You know, like if you're the naughty kid at school and everybody remembers your name.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like that.
You were that guy from high school. That, you know, yeah. I guess that means you don't want to really be remembered. All right, fair enough.
30 seconds.
I mean, it could be good.
Point.
I know Nomad, and I just...
It's not there for the compliment.
I'm not buying it.
Not convinced. You're not convinced.
I'd love to know how many times we've seen Vici picked DK and Dusa this patch together. I feel like they're very happy with what they've got this game.
I was really glad to see Shadow Shaman last ban. I was wondering if you were like kind of smiling about that one.
Only happy when it's picked.
Yeah, but your boy plays one game, win. Yeah. All right, PYW just kind of walked and got away with that. All right.
Give him the shades as he walks off.
Yeah, I don't think he should have just been able to walk up and do that.
What's DY?
Yeah. Shadow Shaman gets himself one win, and all of a sudden he's ultra banned. Ooh. All right, Bramble Maze,
good damage.
Needs to navigate this maze. Is this the kind of Monkey King game where we're gonna see that Battle Fury Ags? Oh, does he have Bleak Hallucination on this Monkey King?
Oh no.
Oh no, he's got Bleak Hallucination on the Courier, and since he's the Courier right now, he has Bleak Hallucination, which is a glitched item thing.
So
I always have to talk about it.
It seems that Dusa wanted to aggro Trilane against the Monkey King, and then put the Timber in a 1v1 against the Tide. But as you can see, the Monkey King's decided to walk all the way to the top lane. And now the Tide, the Lion, and the Monkey King are tri-laning with each other. And because...
Interesting.
I mean, the Tide's going to TP now, but... Aren't Vici just going to do the same? With their course? And then the Monkey King has to run all the way back across the map again?
Yeah, usually you lose musical lanes if you're the first one to TP.
I guess it's different.
Then the reaction's just there.
Yeah. I guess it's different though when they've kind of only done it on one hero and then the other TP'd, right? Because then the Tide would have to walk all the way across the map, but the Monkey King would be fine. Because he wouldn't have to. I don't know.
We'll see if they rotate. At least for right now, they're keeping it the same. But sometimes the reaction comes off death, right? You die and then you TP the other lane that you wanted to be at.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see there being any, massively early deaths on the cores this game, though.
Yeah, pretty tanky all over the map.
Gonna get a small camp put off. It's stacked already at the 2-minute mark, so... Super might be in trouble here.
He's getting pretty low. The Thunderstrike on him. He'll look for the sleep. It hits both of them, but he won't survive it. So first blood for Poyoyo. I always like talking about the road that Poyoyo's come from when he used to play for Keen Gaming Luminous. Back when Keen... Well, actually, back when eHome had eHome Keen and eHome Luminous. Yeah, back at DAC. You're not wrong.
Is he going to buy Ring of Health? Yeah, he is. Okay. So I'm assuming he's going Hood first on the Tide this game. It's a pretty good one for it. I love that
It's
FY's...
just fun to talk about it.
Yeah, I love that FY's holding a skill point as well on the Lion, just in case he needs to level up Hex to find a kill, potentially. Or if he can just go Mana Drain.
Do you think he finds a kill this early, even if he goes to the Hex?
Yeah, he could do. Especially with the Monkey King lane as well. Okay, so Super's come top as well. This team's already level 4. I don't really know what Super's going to do up here.
Does Tide feel that comfortable right now, bottom?
Yeah, he's fine. Like, the ET doesn't really do anything down here anyway. He's got his Ring of Health, so...
Yeah, so his health regen's fine. He should be okay in this lane. He's hit level 4. He's getting soul experience. I guess quicker Ravage, quicker big team fight. Maybe you make something happen. Hope that top gets something out of it. Maybe the experience isn't a big deal.
It just seems very, like... He's not going to be able to achieve anything here. ET's supposed to be this hero that is able to sit in a lane, get lots done.
The crazy thing right now is Somnus has been bullied completely out of lane. They go for Old 11, they land the sweep, they've got the Mana Drain, Timber Chain away from Old 11. They're trying to catch, and they're not going to catch him.
They get him low, though, which is also very good, right? Like,
yeah.
Timber likes it when he doesn't take a lot of damage all at once, but it's like that sustained damage over time, right? And he can just keep healing it back up.
And Somnus just getting bullied. Dragon Tail from Ori, and then Somnus eats like 5 right clicks, and all of a sudden he just got back to lane, and he's got a fourth of his health left.
I mean, I think DK's DK's one of the best laners.
Oh my god! And he just illusory orbed under the tower. He might just be dead here. He is. Yeah, DY catches him.
DY's like, hell yeah, what a rotation. I got all that gold.
You can't complain about me all game now.
Exactly.
I gotta kill mid. I won you your lane.
And this Deuce is just free farming as well in the bot lane against the Tide, right? Like with the Snake F, he was saying, like it's such a good zoning tool.
I don't think Yang's going 1v1 and trying to get a kill here, but it's good that Poyo's just had this open lane at the moment and is doing really well. And it's doing quite a bit of damage to Yang, and yeah, he's got that Ring of Health, but he doesn't have any other regen, outside of that.
So they see the puck walking mid under the ward. Somnus?
Dream Coil on the 2, and they land the sweep. Somnus stunned. The Cursed Crown. Do they have the damage to get the kill here onto Ori? And they really lack damage, and Somnus trying to run, just getting right-clicked here by PYW, and
gets another orb.
Somnus sipping on the bottle. Earth Spike, illusory orb. They'll get the kill on a 1. They'll look and turn around. They've slept up the Disruptor, the Kinetic Field, to try and keep these Elephant heroes away from them. Now a Cursed Crown into the Bramble Maze. POW is doing a lot of damage. It's just not enough to get any kills in this exchange.
Yeah, the Vici supports aren't great before the level 6 mark, right? Like they don't have the same kind of like utility. It's like something like the Lion and the ET, right? Ooh, nice bounty resteal. Well, it's not a steal, it's his own, but he takes it away from where the puck would have taken it.
And the fight still rages on with Ori coming over and finding Super, who will land a sweep, but be locked in by the kinetic field. So he looks very dead with the Curse Crown going off and Ori securing that last hit.
Yeah, it's getting to the point in the lane now where Eurus can't really sustain.
Ooh.
Okay, good mischief.
Turns into the courier with the bleak hallucination. Look at that.
That is pretty funny.
I like that he gets the glitch cosmetic. Well, I guess it's not glitched on a courier. UIW ending up going down as Somnus is there to help out. Mo, you've covered so much Chinese Dota. Could you tell me the glitch cosmetics that a lot of these heroes have?
Absolutely
or a lot of these
not.
players have?
Oh, he just died.
Oh, gosh,
okay.
Somnus going down to a neutral creep.
Unfortunate for DY though. I mean, he was so close to getting that kill with the last tick of Thunderstrike, and it just dies to neutrals instead.
Cursed Crown, as well as the Bramble Maze. They'll go to the Wukong's command and try and get the kill here on an old 11. They don't have the damage, and he's not really stuck in that circle, so he just walks out, and he's regenning at 22 a pop.
Yeah, I mean, if the line had managed to get a stun off, then maybe they could have killed him, but I still don't think it would have been enough.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Honestly, though, for Vici, if this Deuce is just free farming in the bot lane, I don't think they care. Like, if you compare the Deuce's net worth to the Monkey King, it's like the panel was saying, Elephant don't... Oh, hang on, top lane.
Where he comes in, breathe fire, and they've got the Hex, so try to TP out. Is the damage there? Yes, it is. Or he's coming in with an ED, so it's close, but at the end of the day, he gets the kill, and they'll take out the Monkey King, and these lanes are just not going well for Elephant at all. FY just kind of stops moving. Bramble Maze from around the back. They're going to get a kill on FY up in the top lane. That was interesting.
Kale. Really nice play by the Tide, though. They invade the bot jungle and they take the 3 stack big camp.
Coil on a DY. Waning Rift has the silence. Look for the sweep. They'll land it and take out this Disruptor's life. Push the tier 1 over mid. Try to take a tower and cut into the Vici map.
So, PYW has 2 points in Bramble Maze, right? And I've seen, like when GH used to play this hero, for example, on Willow, he'd nearly always religiously go 1-4-1, right? Without a doubt. And he would max Shadow Realm. But more and more recently, I've seen Dark Willows go for more points in Bramble Maze instead.
Hex, Waning Rift, the sweep lands. They've got the Illusory Orb to get the kill on an old 11. All that's going on, Tide is being harassed, and I say harassed, but it's not really. No damage is really being done to him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, now 2 supports are here, Yang. Blimps back. Oyoyo coming in. Maybe overstaying your welcome. They've also got Ori here. I don't know if mana to throw at a Ravage. He does have that 16 charge wand. If the rest of the team's coming over and he wants to pop it, he's very tanky. He does now have 20 charges. Pops it, goes to the Ravage. The rest of the team, though, not here yet. Dream Coil coming around the back. That's going to be on a DY. The Disruptor gets hit with a Finger of Death. They get the kill on a DY, and they look over now as Old Oven is chasing Yang. Gosh, slowing him down. Ori coming over. Yang's still in no man's land. He will fall here. And the team comes over from the side on Elephant, but they don't really commit heavily into this fight, and they'll still lose the Tide.
Yeah, they committed so much to try and save him as well, even like the Wukongs, just to zone them away.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Elephant gonna be like,
Radiant's
no,
bottom
yeah,
tower
come on, man.
is under attack.
Yeah, like, we did our best to save you. You can't just walk back in like that.
Booms back, Static Storm, Kinetic Field, not actually going to land on Eurus. They also have the Cursed Crown. I think maybe if they wait for Cursed Crown to go off, they might have been able to throw the Kinetic Field and Static Storm over that.
They really need this Willow to get to level 6 as well. Have this extra little bit of burst coming through for their team. And even
Bedlam single target so much damage level 1.
Even the team fight of the Terrorize, right, is really strong as well. But yeah, I'm still just really worried. Without this Monkey King.
He's going Battle Fury right now. I'm wondering if it's the Battle Fury Ags build.
Okay.
But it's going to be a long time till he gets that Battle Fury. He's so far behind. He's only at 4k net worth. Like, he's equivalent net worth to old 11. Boom's back, catching Yang once again away from his team. They go to the Kinetic Field. They don't have the Static Storm to follow this up. You get an Earth Spike through, and FY kind of saves the day there. Illusory Orb as well as the Waning Rift. They use the Dream Coil onto the Dark Will. There's the Cursed Crown as well as the Bramble Maze to protect himself. The Shadow Realm strike and looking for the Terrorize thrown over onto FY, locking him up into the Bramble.
Yeah, has to use the Terrorize to keep himself alive, unfortunately. I think if the Lion gets a stun off, you know, he's probably in trouble, so... Might as well just throw it out. But again, this dude's still just free farming the top jungle. Monkey King
Radiant are scanning.
managing to get some catch-up time, which is great. But I love what Yang's doing. Just invade. You know, we've talked about Red Panda doing this as well, right, on the pos 5 and stuff. But if you're playing this really tanky hero, just run in. What are they going to do?
I think that's going to stick with me for a while. Just the mindset of thinking that Red Panda's just looking through the trees.
How annoying can I be?
Yeah. Oh, man. They smoke up here, and they're going to go towards bottom. That's because Ori now is caught out. Earth Splitter, Earth Spike all coming through. That'll bring them down to half health. They had the sweep for a second. They get themselves the Boundless Strike to get the kill here on Ori. Into the trees, Eurus goes, maybe thinking about re-engaging on this fight. DY, Poyoyo, and Old 11 all show up here on the side of Vici, with PYW going into the Shadow Realm and having that Bedouin right on top of Super to get the kill into the Elder Titan. FY, double stun, and the finger illusory orb over. They have the Wukongs. They'll get the kill into DY. FY really helping to get that kill. It looked like he might have been dead to rights. But there's the Hex. Yang, he's got Ravage ready. He'll throw it. They're mana draining. Poyoyo standing in the chakram. They've got the illusory orb over the top. They get the kill into Poyoyo, and now they look over at Old 11. This is going horribly for Vici. They'll lose so many heroes in this exchange, while Elephant lose nothing. Oh, PYW might not be out of this one alive yet. Yang's hero is Somnus into the Shadow Realm again. That strike doesn't feel that hard.
It does slow. Oh, the juke on the orb.
Glimpse back. He's right next to Yang. Do you really even want to go towards Somnus at all?
Radiant's top tower is under
Brambles lock up Yang. Curse Crown, Kinetic Field, Bedlam, solo target. Not really doing a lot to Yang. Anybody else, maybe, but... Tide, I don't think so. I don't think you're cracking that shell.
I see what you did there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, the Dusa, though, doesn't get the Stone Gaze off right in the fight, and because her mana shield's only level 1, she dies so quickly. You know, you want to maximize your farming speed potential at this point in the game, so you go 4-4-1, right? It just means she sacrifices that tank ability that will naturally come later with the levels.
And DY and PYW have been inseparable this game. Always hanging out, stacking together, dewarding together.
They're just having a good time, you know?
Yeah.
Excellent.
They're just singing that song as they walk together. We are friends. We stack together. We deward together. We are friends.
Where's that song from?
Summer camp.
You make it sound like that song is something everybody should know.
No, it was literally just in my summer camp. Nobody would understand that reference.
Well, they talked about
I
dewarding at
almost
summer
don't
camp.
understand the reference. Yeah. Well, you know, you gotta change it with change out some of the
Was it a
words.
Waga camp? Is that what?
No.
Right. Okay.
I don't have high enough MMR to even apply to that
Oh,
camp.
right. Okay.
is under attack.
Blink Dagger picked up for Somnus. He's doing quite well considering he had a bit of a struggle in the start. They've got this Battle Fury. They will go to the Ags next on Eurus. So see how quickly he can get to that. Clearing up these trees, Yang TPing in, and DY is ready to throw the glimpse.
Oh, without Yang, they can't defend. This tower just goes.
He's all the way back top.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
That's a horrible feeling.
You know you've made a mistake when you try to TP to the tower and defend and you get glimpsed back to the other side of the map. It feels so bad.
Dire's top tower is under
And in a game with Disruptor, there's always about a 67% chance that's happening when you're TPing to a tower. It's an aggressive play from Somnus. I'll get the kill on a DY. That sleep won't hit anything.
Yeah, that natural order from the ET just helping buff up the puck damage.
He only has it at level 1 right now.
I think Yang's going to buy a blink here, right? On the Tide.
Looks like it. He's got the gold at the moment, and yeah, there's the blink.
Quickly as I go. Here I am.
It's turned into a bit of a slow game again, hasn't it? I mean, Elephant have found their way back into it through a couple of team fights, but
But you said like the slowness benefits Vici,
Yeah.
but I see that, and I kind of think it helps Eurus kind of come back into this one and give certainly Elephant a chance, right?
I mean, the Monkey King isn't awful against Dusa though, right? Especially with the rest of the team fight that they have. They have so many abilities that keep people in place, like the Dream Coil and the Ravage and things, where if they get a good Wukong's down, I think they can fight into the Dusa.
Dire's bottom
Because she's
tower
not very
is under
mobile
attack.
either, right? So especially if you get that level 25 with the extra ring, layer it up with one of those, team fight abilities, they have good damage output. Is it going to be enough?
Dire's bottom tower is under
Then going into a Heaven's Halberd after this. We've got Dream Coil, the place is down on an old 11. The Bramble Maze is down. They have the Silence. There's the Terrorize, throwing back Eurus as well as Yang. Sleep doesn't end up landing, and now Yang wants to blink in and throw a Ravage out. That lands on 2. They'll go after DY. The Earth Splitter's on point. They get the kill on a DY. They'll go over to old 11. They're going to block him in the Wukong's command and throw that finger, get the kill on a 2. Well done by Elephant. Looked like that Ravage might have been a little bit far away, but he ends up getting both heroes there, and they get the kill onto both those heroes as well.
Can't doubt the Yang.
How far are they into this, Ags? Pretty close, actually. Only about 1,200 gold away.
The Axe on who's
That's
on
with
the
the
Monkey
Battle
King.
Fury.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They really need the oh, hang on, Lion.
Dragon Tail, Bramble Maze, very dead. PYW going into a Yule's next.
I mean, the problem is for Vici, right, that the Timber and the DK aren't really scaling either of them. So when the DK gets BKB, if the Dusa hits a relatively okay timing around the same time, then they need to just try and go for it, I think. Puck's going to try and cut another wave as well here, so this Dusa won't even be able to pressure massively in the spot area of the map.
The thunder won't let me die.
Extra Jingu damage there for the Monkey King at that level 15 talent. Now 400 gold away from that Ags.
He's getting there. What does the Willow have? We haven't really talked about the support items too much.
The Willow's going into the Yules, but at least right now it's just a fluffy hat, windlace, arcane boots with a void stone. So the makings of Yules. There's a staff, but it's in the backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Simon also, it was interesting to see him go triple null into the Witchblade.
Yeah, we've seen triple now a decent amount this tournament as well on the Lina as well, right? We saw it on the Lina,
Yeah.
we saw it on the Puck.
BKB for Ori picked up.
are scanning.
And it's Lincoln's next for Somnus. We'll see how that goes as Tide's building into that Heaven's Halberd. You guys saw that big pop-up with all the items being built in, but giving you the report regardless. They're going to smoke here on the side of Elephant, have Yang showing mid. I believe Vici are wanting to do the same thing as they're grouped up.
If they can
away
hold this high ground.
Sentry. Ooh. Old 11 kind of leaving the team and getting himself a bit far away. They saw that.
Yeah, this is an issue. They saw the smokes break on the puck, though. So they know.
BKB popped by Ori. They react to him popping that BKB and try and go in on this. They found the Hex. FY comes around the back. They've got the finger as well as the Earth Spike. Primal Spring right on top of him. They'll get the kill into DY. Now the Ravage hitting on a 3. Terrorize comes in. That's going to land on the Eurus as well as FY. That'll send the Monkey King as well as this Lion back. But the Air Splitter comes through on Ori. They get the kill into the DK. They'll take out 2. Old 11, he's quite tanky and shouldn't die here. But Somnus, he's up front looking for more. Doesn't have a Dream Coil to throw down on these heroes of Vici. So they should escape. And right now, Elephant, they control the triangle and a big chunk of the dire side of the map. No surprise. Chat thought that song was cringe, by the way.
Well, they have to call you out for it.
And there's a smoke by Vici. They're starting to fall behind, and like Puyo's got a lot of farm, but he hasn't really been able to utilize it. He's only 2-1-1. And that one of those kills was early on Super. Blink Dragon Tail on FY. Gush Wukong's in the Boundless Strike. The Earth Spike lands on 2 before FY dies. That might mean Ori goes down here, but he finally gets the BKB off. He's walking away. They landed the sweep on a Puyo. They'll find themselves Super. They try to get the kill into the Elder Titan. But DY doesn't have a glimpse. Blink forward, Dragon Tail, Ori in a precarious position just where he's at, where he might get... Oh, the Dream Coil! On a 4. Somnus in, Somnus out. Now you see him, now you don't. And they've also got Yang coming over. He doesn't have Ravage. 30 seconds on cooldown on that. We'll see if they're still fighting at the end of that cooldown. DY running away as the Curse Crown pops on Yang. He's unable to chase these heroes on Vici. Popping the Manta and continuing to run. And Yang, ooh, he still wants this. He gets the kill on a DY, blinking forward, throwing that Anchor Smash.
I mean, I can't believe Somnus has got away with that.
And he's still forward. Somnus is out, looking over at PYW, who yules himself up into the air. And with that, Somnus will finally retreat. Elephant pulling further and further ahead. They've got this Axe BKB combo on the Monkey King. He's farming at a pretty big chunk these days, and, well, he's almost gotten the BKB. So Eurus, who, again, I hate to reiterate, had a pretty slow start, now almost top of the net worth.
He's having a much better game now. I think that comes from the ability to play with the rest of his team and find and get involved in these team fights, right? Though, oh, they find PYW.
Ooh, yeah, PYW, who is sitting close to getting that shard.
Did you see that Giga Chad Imp Claw on Lion with the 216 crit? Oh, that was big.
Well, what is in the neutral stash for them that he is using that? There is another shawl.
I mean, if he gets the 70 damage talent, though, it's not awful, right?
Static Storm, Kinetic Fields. It's all around this Tide. Can they get the kill on Yang? He's got Ravage available. Now they're going to use it. The BKB's been popped by Ori. They've got the Wukongs around on 11. The Dream Coil comes in as he's trying to Timber Chain into Somnus.
They just can't fight into this team fight. Like, all of their heroes on Radiant have strong spells. So, how do they get into the fight? Especially when the BKBs start to get lower, right? Like on the DK, for example. And they just can't deal with this Tide. I mean, Yang's just placing himself as a brick wall, effectively. There's some high-level Roche action.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember how quickly that used to be when the Monkey King soldiers would attack the Roche as well? It was
Instant.
It was so ridiculous.
Literally almost instant. Oh, Paladin Sword. That's going to be walked over to Eurus and passed his way.
Ability.
Old 11 finally getting his shard. That was killed on the courier earlier. Now he's got that flamethrower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Love the flamethrower.
Radiant are
What an ability.
I think there was a point where people didn't realize how good it was.
Yes.
And then it was used in a pro game and it killed like 4 people.
Dire's
And like
tower
really helped the
is
high
under
ground siege. And I think everybody bought it after that.
So the BKB Deuce has a BKB. Obviously she's just some of the Dragonlance and we'll get it back again in a second, but does this BKB make a huge difference? I think because the DK and the Timber haven't scaled that well into the game,
under attack.
she kind of needs the BKB, but
Dire's top
it doesn't really
tower
help
is
against
down.
like the Monkey King, right? Or their damage output overall as a team on Vici either. We talked about possible damage issues for Elephant, but feels like it's starting to go the other way.
Is under attack.
Well, I don't think Vici have really been able to execute what they've wanted in this game at all.
It's because they keep running into the
Dire's
5-man
middle
Elephant
tower is under attack.
team fight lineup, you know?
Yeah.
Dire's
Dream
middle
Coil,
tower
Ravage,
has fallen.
all the control. FY has been hitting multi-person or multi-hero Earth Spikes, it seems like every time, or whenever he needs it, the control. Even like in death, like as his hero is dying, he's throwing an Earth Spike. And he's going for a shard. Tide's almost got a BKB himself. And then Scotty next for the Monkey King. He's got 3,700 gold saved up.
Oh, good coil.
Finds PYW.
Presumably a pity.
And PYW does have that shard now, which might open up a little bit more here for Vici. But again,
Dire's
they've just fallen so far behind. And even an open game, as much as Poyoyo's had one, has not been enough yet. Eurus, BKB, Boundless Strike coming through in a DY. Easy kill there on the Disruptor. And Eurus is just taking over the game.
It's not even just yours. Look at where they are on the map. They're just relentless.
Yeah,
Like, they
Yang's
find-
moving forward. He doesn't care. And they just have not... They invaded that fight over mid and they haven't stopped.
I like this Ags on the puck as well. Like we've talked about, when this Monkey King gets to the late portions of the game, I think you want this Ags coil just to keep everybody in place, right? Even if they have BKB on do so. Just keep her there, keep her in the Wukong's command, and just go to town.
There's a different aura to watching Elephant in this tournament so far. I think different to what we saw in the DPC, Elephant have a lot more confidence.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And it's difficult to know at this point in the year, you know, which teams, especially the ones that are going to TI, are like playing, and which ones are kind of, you know, have taken breaks. Because there's that really awkward time where, you know, TI gets moved, otherwise they would have been practicing for longer. Maybe they'd already organised a boot camp or something.
They'd already be in TI, right? It's August 12th?
I don't think it's until, it was supposed to be until later this month. I can't 100% remember that, but I think this one was a bit of an anomaly because of, yeah, the situation in the world. But, oh, did he just... Oh, okay. Cut his tree. So yeah, you're in this like really weird period in the year where people aren't really sure if they're coming or going.
Dream Coil on Old 11.
Here comes Lion.
Spirit Vessel with the Hex, and that's a Spirit Vessel coming through from FY. He lands another Earth Spike. They get the finger. Now he's on 6 stacks.
Zephyrs.
And he's getting that extra health for Finger of Death kill. He's at 2,070 health here on FY. He's got that shard. It has an Aether Lens. He's happy right now. That Finger has an extra 240 damage.
Radiant are scanning. Dire's courier has been killed.
21-9. It's
But this is what I'm saying. They haven't really been able to get out and Vici
didn't do anything.
and do
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, they have to just play around the Dusa. But Elephant have so many different like combinations of heroes that can play together and find kills on the map.
Oh, Poyoyo. Hex. And has that shard, though. A Mystic Stake was thrown over onto FY. BKB's popped around the horn. And going into the Stone Gaze, trying to leave, has the help from PYW, but Yang's ready with a Ravage, and that's going to hit on a Poyoyo. No, just on the edge. He doesn't get hit, but he still ends up dead. And now the Dream Coil is there. They'll stop PYW's TP, and Somnus is now beyond godlike. He had such a rough time mid, and he is 14-2-6 now.
And
It's disgusting.
yeah, it's nice to just see them carry on this form that they had earlier on, right, in the tournament as well. Because LGD yesterday, when they lost in the playoffs, you know, they've been taking carry pudge and everything and whatever in the group stage. Maybe they thought because there was 3 out of 4 teams that qualified, they could afford to experiment a little bit more. But then when they got to the playoffs, felt like they were, you know, trying to be the real deal. And I was a little bit worried that maybe everybody was going to step it up a little bit to, you know, match what Elephant have been kind of doing in the group stage. But they're still just on it, and they're showing why they haven't lost a game yet this tournament so far.
That trend might continue. Puck now level 25 has the 250 Waning Rift AoE and range. Going back to the Ags, had it queued up, goes Dagon 5 instead from the Dagon 1.
Yeah, I don't mind that though, considering the position they're in. They can afford to just be a little bit more greedy and find those pickoffs and things. Because there's no, like, you have to remember that maybe the Axe helps them win the game like sooner, but if they game scales
Sleep hits on
later...
Ori.
Ooh.
Boyoyo running over to try and get that
DD
double
Dusa.
damage. DY's giving him the Thunder Strike with the shard, and they're going to go in. Old 11 onto the high ground. Look at this mana drain coming up from FY over to the side. They've got the Wukong's command with the
Oh my god, this
BKB.
Dusa.
Boyoyo can even stand his ground. They get the kill on his super. They'll take out this Elder Titan. FY's going to follow suit as Ori gets the kill there. That Stewar's dead on the side of Elephant. It's been a long time since Vici have had an advantageous fight, but it's starting to fall apart a little bit. They get the kill on a PYW. They have the disarm. The Static Storm's going to be thrown down right on top of the Monkey King, but the damage is there. They get the kill on a Boyoyo, and then Somnus over, finishing off DY, and they'll call GG.
I think they're going to realise that if they can't win this fight when they have a DD on the Dusa, then they're not going to win another fight for the rest of the game. That's like best case scenario for them, right?
Yeah. An Elephant, so crisp. Maybe the laning stage was a little bit like shaky, and they had to switch lanes, and they threw the Monkey King top. But overall, like that looks